What is organizational behavior? Organizational behavior describes an interdisciplinary field dedicated to understanding and managing people at work. One approach to organizational behavior is a contingency perspective, which there is no one best way to manage people, teams, or organizations. The best course of action will depend upon the interplay of multiple person and situational factors. Sometimes there's no single best way of leadership. For example, one manager may be successful by using strict discipline with their employees, and another manager might succeed with a laid-back approach. There is no right or wrong way to lead. To be effective, you must know how to react to certain situations. To effectively apply the contingency approach, you must know yourself. What are your skills, abilities, weaknesses, and strengths? You must have self-awareness. What are your employers looking for? They want both hard and soft skills. Hard skills are the technical expertise and knowledge required to do a task or job function. For example, for a baker, an important hard skill is the ability to work with operating kitchen equipment. What are soft skills? These relate to human interactions and both include interpersonal skills and personal attributes. Your attitude is a great example of a soft skill. If you are optimistic, upbeat, and have a positive outlook, you would have a good soft skill. Values are abstract ideas that guide our thinking and behavior across all situations. These are something we learn at a young age and rarely change throughout our life. Some examples of values are honesty, respect for others, loyalty, responsibility for personal actions, generosity, and kindness. Attitudes represent our feelings or opinions about people, places, and objects and range from positive to negative. There are three components of attitudes. 1. The affective component of an attitude contains our feelings or emotions. 2. Cognitive component of an attitude reflects our beliefs or ideas about an object or situation. And 3. The behavioral component refers to the way we intend to expect to act towards someone or something. Sometimes attitudes collide with reality. When this happens, we create cognitive dissonance. This represents the psychological discomfort a person experiences when simultaneously holding two or more conflicting cognitives, ideas, beliefs, values, or emotions. For example, you're put on a project at work by your manager which will affect your department in a big way. Your boss also tells you if you do well, you will be promoted. The problem is you have already promised others you will help them out with their projects. You think you can handle all the tasks, but at the same time, you know this is going to take away from achieving your promotion. This is creating cognitive dissonance. In organizational behavior, we are concerned with four key workplace attitudes. Organizational commitment, the extent to which an employee identifies with an organization and is committed to its goals. Employee engagement, the extent to which employees give it their all to their work roles. Perceived organizational support, it is the extent to which employees believe that the organization values their contributions and genuinely cares about their well-being. Job satisfaction, an effective or emotional response toward various facets of one's job.
Motivation is our direction to behavior. Things like money or promotions motivate those who are extrinsically motivated. People who are intrinsically motivated are motivated by a sense of satisfaction and other internal feelings. Motivation has been explained by different theorists who all explain it a bit different. According to McGregor's Theory X, employees are pessimistic, do not like work, and need to be monitored. These employees are only motivated with rewards and punishment. McGregor's Theory Y employees are more positive, creative, and self-driven. In Maslow's hierarchy of needs theory, each tier of needs has to be met respectively before one can reach self-actualization. First, one must meet physiological needs, then safety, then love, then esteem, and then you can reach self-actualization and fulfill your full potential. Acquired needs theory suggests we are motivated by affiliation, achievement, and power. Usually one of these three drivers dominates over the others as our main motivation. Self-determination theory focuses on intrinsic motivation. This theory suggests our needs for competence, autonomy, and relatedness drive our behavior. Herzberg's motivator hygiene theory discusses motivating factors and hygiene factors. Hygiene factors are things like company policy and working conditions that generally cause us dissatisfaction. Motivating factors like recognition and advancement cause us satisfaction. Equity and justice theory explains that people strive for fairness in the workplace and compare their inputs and outputs to their coworkers. If they are inputting the same amount of hours and work as their coworkers, they would expect to get the same pay and bonuses. Expectancy theory states that people are motivated to behave or perform in a way that would give them their desired outcome. Goal-setting theory says that when employees set a goal and then achieve that goal, they will lead to higher job satisfaction and commitment to the company. An important part of managing a group of employees is performance management. This includes defining a job, then measuring and evaluating how those jobs are being performed. To do this effectively, a manager must define the performance desired by setting realistic expectations and SMART goals. Once they have done that, they need to monitor the progress being made towards those goals and the achievement of the goals. The manager then needs to give feedback to employees and provide rewards or consequences in order to reinforce the desired behavior.
When one thinks of working in a team, many concepts come to mind as to the definition or what it means to work as or in a team. Some feel they are natural leaders and should be in charge of the team. Others feel more comfortable in a subservient role, working quietly in the shadows. While all angles must be covered when working in a team, what is the key function of a group or a team? What key factors ensure the success of a team? The most basic need of a successful team is to work together towards a common and understandable and attainable goal. Members of the team must be accountable for their selected task in the group. One of the most common issues of a group trying to become a team is the desire to lead, and a group cannot become a team until the leadership is shared amongst the people in the group. The group must essentially lead itself collectively to become a true team. One of the biggest challenges of a newly formed team is simply not having a common core goal. Although the team may actually have the same goal, the communication amongst the group members may be a little confusing, especially if all newly introduced. Group members must essentially break the ice. It should be fairly obvious that the group members might not trust one another in the very beginning, and as stated above, they will struggle to understand their specific roles. Figuring out leadership roles will certainly initiate conflict in the beginning, but candor and conflict is a great tool to sort of bring everyone together in a creative sense. In a work environment, there will certainly be a boss or leader of the group. The members of the group will push boundaries and see how far they can push. This will also create a cohesive bond among the team. As time progresses, the group will be more task-oriented and less focused on the behavioral factors. Being a high-functioning and successful team isn't really that hard. Having a sense of humor, aligned goals, levels of trust, and evenly distributed participation are just a few of the necessary traits to be a successful team. There also must be clear-cut boundaries of what is a team goal and what is an individual performance goal. A great example is the famous group of basketball players known as the Dream Team. While their roles are extremely well laid out, they are a great example. You have Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson as guards, Charles Barkley, Larry Bird, and Scottie Pippen all playing forward. Players know exactly where their position is on the court. They must be in their expected spot when the play is being made. If each person on the Dream Team did not work to their individual goal, they wouldn't have been the world-renowned team. Each teammate needs to be in their designated position at a specific time to make each shot, or on the defensive end to block the opposing team's shot and recover the ball. Without the offensive and defensive lineup, the team is useless. Being a team means you have the same goal at the end of the road and use individual strengths to form one large cohesive unit that can tackle any task given to you.
Power is the discretion and means to enforce your will over others. There are 5 bases to power: legitimate, based on formal authority; reward, based on the ability to grant rewards; coercive, based on the ability, real or perceived, to punish; expert, based on knowledge; and referent, based on sociability and relationships. The first 3 fall under position power, associated with a particular position, while the latter 2 under personal power, existing independent of your position. Power is asserted through influence and political tactics. Influence tactics tend to fall directly in line with the types of power, using methods such as rationalizing, appealing, or applying pressure through intimidation. Political tactics conflict with organizational interests and further self-interests, and are most effective when they run contra to an ineffective or negative organizational or personal direction. Knowing what kind of power to assert and when and how to utilize it is important. Power can leave a lasting impression, and this must be carefully managed. It can be difficult to lose the image of using coercion, and reward-based power may lead to others over-focusing on self-interests. Leadership is when an individual uses their skills and knowledge to unite individuals to achieve common goals. Leaders must manage, but also inspire and support those they lead in order to rally them. There are a few traits and attributes associated with leadership. Those such as conscientiousness and agreeableness are positive traits, while narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathy are negative and can be counterproductive or even damaging. There are multiple approaches in behavior to leadership. Task-oriented behavior focuses on achieving goals and revolves around defining tasks and roles to assure efficiency among a group. Relationship-oriented behavior focuses on providing positive relationships among the group, as well as emotional and inspirational support. It revolves around building trust, ensuring that members' needs are known and met, and empowering members to help them feel that they have control over their job and can develop intrinsic motivation. Transformational leaders utilize multiple methods in order to push followers to pursue organizational goals rather than self-interests, or more effectively, to help align the two. They utilize respect, charisma, and other such methods to influence their followers' behaviors and perceptions. Leader-member exchange theory assumes that leaders will develop unique relationships with each person reporting to them. This creates trust and obligation between the parties and drives motivation to reciprocate effort.